Paul, also known as Mixed Breed Entertainment due to his YouTube persona, was a happy man who lived with no family barring his beloved dog. He and his dog loved each other to infinity, and he made sure to take good care of it, and it would try to return the favor back. However, sometimes this was impossible, and the upcoming video was definitely a time where this turned out to be the case. Now Paul knew that something was up with his house for a long period of time, but never actually got around to doing something about it. Sure, he filmed some videos to gather evidence, but other than that, nothing, and that continued after the next clip. It took place at 1 p.m. and Paul was explaining his experiences with spirits to the camera in his bedroom. It was at this exact moment that whatever it was haunting him decided to strike again.
We caught some stuff on the spirit box and stuff like that, but it's just been stuff like that. Did you just see that? Did you see that? This drawer, what? Oh my goodness. This drawer just opened all by itself. You seen that, didn't you? You seen that, didn't you? And now...
This event freaked Paul out to the maximum, and he was just about done with the shenanigans after it had finished. The fact that this decided to occur just as he was discussing other paranormal instances made it 10 times worse for Paul, and we can only hope and pray that he has recovered well. These middle-aged men were all sitting around the table discussing their business matters when a huge shock made sure they left the table feeling that little bit more disturbed. The men decided to have their dinner together as a celebration for one of them reaching $3,000 a month on their first business, which they were all extremely proud of. When they were younger, they all wanted to run successful businesses, and none of them were on the wrong track. It was great to see. However, during this excellent dinner meetup, full of nothing but food and good vibes, one of the strangest events of these men's lives occurred. Take a look.
Did you hear it? What? I didn't. What? 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 I think I saw it. It's on camera. Have a look. What? 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 What was it? Shit. What's going on? I've just got out of the room. What are you fucking screaming about and looking white in the face for and got a mouth open at Halloween? What?
I saw it fall off the fucking shelf.
What?
I think that's just broken the floor. What was it? That one. It's two falling off.
Somehow, a vase fell from the counter onto the floor and shattered to pieces. The man who screamed was actually the one who had reached the $3,000 per month, and it was quite upsetting for the men to see his day being tarnished by something so minuscule. They were all convinced that this was not a ghost and must have just fallen due to them moving too much, but he was not sure whatsoever. He was convinced it was a spirit and tells the story as if it was to this day. We have looked into several clips filmed by a man called Jake on this channel, and his story never seems to end. It all started a few weeks back when he captured a spirit on the CCTV cameras placed in his daughter's room, and ever since then, the paranormal activity in the property has flown through the roof. From unaccompanied footsteps to cupboards opening on their own accord, we have witnessed all sorts of paranormal events unfolding from the camera of Jake, and this is no different in the following video.
So I'm sitting here gaming, and that object up there swung and literally smacked the glass really hard. Damn reflection, but look, still moving. Let's catch it before it stops. Look, still moving. Oh no, no, it moved. Look, it was sitting there, as you can see from the dust. Oh, so it moved. Alright. Can you make it swing again? Damn, I really need to wipe off in there. Look at all that shit. Can you make it swing again? Try to open that more. Hello? Can you make it move again? Oh, look. It made them all move now. Nice. Can you make it swing like you did before when it hit the glass? It's going out of focus. Alright, now I said swing it, not move it. Jeez Louise. Jeez Louise. And I opened that thing, so probably let the damn thing out. Yo, this thing keeps moving. I'm like nervous and shaking. And I'm lightheaded a little bit. Keeps going out of focus. Surprised some things ain't shaking more how much it moved. I'm so nervous, man. So lightheaded. I don't regret this, but can you make it move again? Can you make it move again? So lightheaded. Can you slide it the other way? Keeps going out of focus. Yo! Was that a nickel, a dime, a penny? Look, there's my change. That thing went flying. How did it not hit the glass? See, that is some glitch in the matrix shit. Yo, I gotta rewatch that, cause how'd it get past that glass and fly behind this stuff? The fuck is that? That's definitely not what flew out. I don't even know where that went. Or even, that looked like a quarter or a nickel or a dime, because it wasn't no penny. That shit was too shiny for that. I'm like freaking out. See, it keeps going out of focus, man. I think something's in there. I'm good. It can stay in there. Yeah, I'm gonna rewatch that again, because I'm a little stumped on how it didn't hit the glass.
This time around, Jake heard some tapping noises coming from the cupboard, and he had to go and investigate what was going on. It was here when he found out that an object inside of it was causing this, followed by other items moving around the place, finishing with a dime. I am certain that we will receive more clips showcasing Jake's troubles though, so subscribe. Throughout the next 4 videos, including this one, we will discuss a man called Roland, who has been experiencing paranormal activity for a long time now. He constantly captures clips regarding the paranormal and has featured on this channel several times, so it only makes sense to include a lot more of him. In order to keep up with his story though, make sure you subscribe so that you do not miss certain parts. Anyways, without further ado, in the video you're about to see, Roland was in his garage trying to find a toolbox when he captured something more than shocking.
Alright. What in the hell was that? There's something up there. I don't know what the hell's going on in here. I heard something over here and then over there. Alright, I feel something in the air right here. My bike looks like it has been moved. It looks like something... What the hell is that? Alright, something just fell over here. Is there a spirit in here that just made something fall? Was there a spirit that moved my bike? What the fuck? What in the hell? Keep hearing something. It's outside. I'm gonna get hurt. It's outside, but I'm gonna try to get out there fast. Oh, shoot. Alright, I just heard something. It's like a whistle. It sounded like somebody was whistling out here. Legit, somebody just whistled. Where the hell?
Weirdly, there was a spirit in his garage messing around with his bike, and he was far from appreciative about this. Things only got worse for Roland from here though, so remember what I said previously. Turn on post notifications so you can keep up to date with the other clips that he entails. In the following video, American video creator Ancha Ninja Japan was conducting a tour of a house for his viewers when the unexpected happened. All he expected to come from this tour was some cash from the TikTok Creator Fund, but what he did end up getting was far from that, and not for the correct reasons either. The rent of the apartment was over $700 per month, which in case you don't know is actually a fairly cheap price. So the creator expected this house to gain a sale, and he would receive a commission too, but little did he know that posting this would do the opposite of attracting customers, because people do not tend to enjoy a haunted house.
Here's what $760 gets you in Fukuoka, Japan. Now today we have a classic Japanese home, starting with a very nice tatami room. This house will run you a monthly rent of 12 man. This 4-bedroom home is in a wonderful location. 3-minute walk away from a supermarket, electronics store, and convenience stores. And just a 5-minute bike ride, you are at the train station. So you're easily able to get to the center of the city. Lovely little kitchen area, and lots of kitchen storage with this built-in cabinet. Next we have this interesting little room here, which could easily be an office or gaming room. And it wouldn't be a Japanese home without very steep stairs. Also, don't forget to check out my apartment tour playlist. And upstairs we have one more tatami room. If you've never been around tatami mats, they put off a very nice smell. And here we have a room with a hardwood floor. There's not much of a view, but you do have wonderful natural lighting. I lived in Seattle for many years and I am traumatized and I need all the natural light I can get. Also, if you're someone with a car or planning to get a car, this house comes with a parking spot. Classic toilet. Also, mind you, the toilet has a sink on the back. I think many people don't realize that. And last, a classic Japanese bathroom. So what do you think of this house? Would you live here?
Now, it took me a few attempts to actually decipher what made this clip so weird when I received it through email, but after watching it back a few times, I noticed something severely unsettling around 5 seconds in. You could see a black figure on the other side of the wall, staring at the creator before disappearing on second sight. Very creepy indeed. Speaking to the paranormal is an ability that many people dream of obtaining, but if you are one of those people, you will take back your wishes after watching this next video. It took place in the room of Lucas, who had recently lost the love of his life to a car crash and had not yet recovered. He left all sorts of memorabilia of her lying around the house in order to help him cope and remind him of the memories, but the last thing he wanted to happen was about to happen. I guess when you understand what caused it, you could say he brought it upon himself.
So this app, We Contact, claims to use AI to connect to the spirit realm and let you talk to ghosts. I am obviously skeptical, but I'm curious. So I thought I'd use it, give it a shot, and record myself. So let's see how this works. Is there a spirit here with me?
Yes, there is a spirit here with you.
Okay. What's your name?
You know my name.
I know your name. Alright, have we met before?
Why are you acting like this? Are you feeling okay?
I'm feeling fine. Are you feeling okay?
I'm a little cold, and everything is dark in here. Why do you have the lights out?
It's actually daytime in my house.
I've been calling you all day, baby, and you've been ignoring me. If something's wrong, say so. Let's talk about this. It's making me very angry.
Lucas found one of those highly advertised apps which claimed to have the power to speak to the dead, and in desperation to speak to his significant other, he instantly started the download. It supposedly did not take long to load onto his phone, which was a surprise due to his low data, but after the call, he wished he had never started it. When she told him that she was angry, he was ready to call it rubbish and delete the app, but it was at this moment that her picture fell to the ground. This confirmed that this was real, albeit that was not a good thing. On November 30th of 2018, a middle-aged woman was trying to work out how to do something on her phone when she accidentally opened up the camera app. This was seemingly an event that would not cause any impact, as she usually made mistakes like this when using modern technology, but little did she know that this would cause her phone to become, well, strange to say the least. For the next few days, she continued as normal as if nothing happened, not telling anyone what had happened to hide herself from all of the embarrassment. What she had no idea about, though, was the fact that she had no need to hide because somehow she was already hiding. Confused as to what I mean? Watch the clip.
Y'all, I am in my yard. Watch my face. This is not an app doing this. This is my yard. The church is behind me. Watch my face. Church. You can see straight through me. I kid you not. Look at this. Whoa.
As weird as this may have been, the camera continued to make her invisible when she directed it towards the church, and she was adamant that this was not a filter. Regardless of whether she did accidentally apply one or not, I am not going to give my verdict and invite you to make that decision in the comments. In the last video, we stepped into the home of Raj and his roommate, who had been living a fairly regular life until their nightmare came to the front door. Raj was a huge fan of ancient objects and loved to order them to the house despite his roommate's dissatisfaction. Only time would tell that Raj should have listened. One day, he ordered a mummy, which the owner claimed to be a real practice replica, from the ancient Egyptian era. Even though he received no evidence that this mummy was legitimate, Raj was too keen to take the offer, and ever since then, his home has been haunted. The upcoming clip took place 2 days after the mummy incident and was arguably just as terrifying.
You guys hear that? What the hell? Hello? What? Come on. It's not turning on. Shit. What the hell, dude? I'm getting enough of this shit. Seriously. Hello?
This time around, some very similar things happened to last time, and the eerie corridor of rooms really lived up to its eerie status. From objects moving alone to a wave of chills, Raj definitely felt an awful presence, and I am sure this will not be the last clip we see that was taken by him on the channel. The Cortez family were one of the most normal groups of people you could ever imagine. Nothing interesting ever happened in their life other than the odd outing, so they would be the last family you'd expect to see featured on this channel. In the following video, the father of the family was staying up late at night to do some work, when all of a sudden he felt something very off that he couldn't describe. In response to this, he decided to go and investigate downstairs, and what happened was unbelievable. It's important to note that the family was indeed religious and had a wall widespread with crosses for that reason. Whatever caused the following to happen likely hated that fact.
Vamos a ver qué sucede porque esto está muy cabrón. Ya todos están dormidos, a ver. No mames. Es una lámpara que tengo aquí. Se está moviendo bien cabrón. Están las cruces. Chinga. Vamos a ver qué sucede porque esto está muy cabrón. Ya todos están dormidos, a ver. No mames. Es una lámpara que tengo aquí. Se está moviendo bien cabrón. Están las cruces. Chinga.
Strangely, something from the cross display collapsed to the ground without warning, and nobody was there who could have triggered this to happen. Considering this was the act of a spirit and it decided to tamper with a wall of religious art, it led the Cortez family to believe that they were being visited by a demon, but they never got any more evidence after that. Now, in a recent video on the channel, we delved into an adventure by Kareem, who somehow found himself in a terrible situation. To summarize, he had become lost and found himself at an abandoned building where he was continuously being led to this little girl's room. During his time inside this room, he had seen some very disturbing things, but none were quite bad enough to make him turn around and try to escape. He was given enough warnings. It was time to give Kareem the fright of his life.
Otra vez ruido en la pieza de mi hija. podrido de los sonidos, los ruidos. Paren un poco, viejo, ¿qué onda? ¿Qué es eso? La concha de su- Yo voy a apagar la luz ahí. Oh, esto me da muchísimo miedo.
The worst part about that piece of footage was most definitely the noises that the ghost was making. It was whimpering like a little girl, and like we debunked in the last video, this made perfect sense. All around the room were boxes with the name Rebecca on them, which made it very obvious that it used to be the room of a little girl. Perhaps the ghost haunting Karim in this specific moment was that girl, but that's just a theory. After experiencing this, Karim decided to take a step back and have a breather before he entered the building one last time. He wanted to gather as much evidence as possible about the place, and fortunately, he managed to get a tiny bit more clip.
Estoy solo en mi casa y pasa esto. Si tienes miedo no lo mires, al final algo intenta atacarme.
After plucking up the courage to re-enter the building, Karim was greeted by much more demented sounds. Last time he could compare the sounds to something, but this time around they were indescribable, almost like they came from a mythical creature of some sort. Understandably, this was enough to send Karim running to safety, and he eventually came across a main road. He held his hand out until someone pulled over, and he asked them to call his friend to come and pick him up. Luckily, he did. Karim will never walk in that same direction again. Who knows what the spirit would do to him next time. Dogs, as well as cats, are known for having a sense that humans don't have. The sense to visualize beings from the paranormal world. There are countless videos on the internet of families, cute little pets, barking at absolute nothingness for hours on end, and even staring at seemingly walls. A lot of people believe that this is simply an act of boredom and an attempt to keep themselves entertained, but that's just foolish. It's spirits, and if the following video doesn't convince you, then I don't know what will.
That was hella weird. There's literally no way that door just opened by itself. Y'all, like, I really don't get freaked out, but that was really just... That door has a keypad lock on it. Like, and it's actually hard to get in. Dutch, where are you going? Don't leave me. There's like... What? Why did you just jump like that? Why did... Baby! Y'all, do you see her? What the fuck is going on? Yo!
For some strange reason, the dog started barking behind the door, and it looked very stiff. When a dog is stiff, it usually means that it is worried or frightened by something, and whatever was behind the door was likely the cause for this. What worried me was the fact that the poor dog was looking so high up. Whatever that thing was, it must have been massive, and the woman would be insane to not call up the local priest for the job. Let me know what you think about this scenario in the comments, but trust me, I am more than certain that something spiritual was enjoying her garden. CCTV is one of the best installments that someone can install into their home because they are so useful at deterring crime. They can help people look back at footage and see exactly what happened as many times as they would like to, which is huge in catching criminals in the act. However, in the upcoming clip, the woman decided to do this in order to try and find out who caused this phenomenon to happen. To her dismay, this is what she found on the camera. Literally no one. Somehow the curtain moved by its own accord, and the faint whisper of the words, "Get out," echoed next to the camera. This was most definitely the act of something from the paranormal world, but the lady who got spooked by it wasn't able to accept that this was the case. She hired people to dig through everything and try to find any trace of someone or something being there with her that night. But no matter how much money she splashed on these companies, none of them came back with any turnaround. She spent upwards of $300 before finally giving up on the search and deeming herself as crazy. Despite all of that, she still doesn't believe in ghosts. This security guard called Shane was working a night shift at the hospital when one of, if not the creepiest things of his life, happened there and then. According to Shane, the wheelchair in the corridor started periodically spinning at around 2 a.m. and had been for a few weeks. However, no one else on the staff team believed that this story was true. On this fateful night, he took it upon himself to capture the drama unfold and truly prove that he wasn't going crazy, and prove he did, because after this video, no one could deny him.
See, I fucking don't. No.
As if this piece of content wasn't already unsettling enough, that was the wheelchair ridden by an ex-patient called Sheila, who sadly passed away a few weeks prior. And remember what Shane said about the wheelchair moving, starting at around that time. Regardless of a ghost haunting their corridors, the staff get on with their day-to-day tasks, and it became tradition to say hi to Sheila once you walked past the corridor. They did their best to save her, and it was very saddening to see her death. On the other hand, refreshing to know that she was still living the life. On October 12th of 2017, a Spanish man by the name of Andre was home alone in the living room when he managed to accidentally get something on his camera. He was recording a funny Snapchat for his group chat of friends when suddenly the topic of the video took a huge drift for the worst. Andre described after this event that he would never go near his rhino ornament ever again, and after taking a look, you won't hesitate to agree with his decision, so go on.
Amigos, son las 1:26 de la madrugada y estoy solo, ya van 3 veces que me tocan la puerta a mi casa y relativamente pues yo estoy solo, pero pues la verdad es que sí me da miedo. La neta no sé ni qué onda en mi casa y pues sí me da un chingo de miedo. Les juro. No mames, vete a la verga. No mames, no mames. Vete a la verga. No, neta, vete a la verga. Se acaba de caer esta madre. No mames. No mames.
What made this rather odd was the fact that the rhino landed perfectly and didn't shatter in the slightest. It was a very fragile piece of art, and the seller warned the family to be careful with it. It made absolutely zero sense that it managed to fall from such a height without even a single chip. The leading theory to explain this is that the ghost behind the event quickly placed the rhino on the ground so that no real gravitic potential energy was built up, hence why it didn't lash out when it hit the floor and exploded. It was a close call for the ornament regardless. It was on an online selling website just hours later. In the following video, a woman is sitting in the living room watching her hyper-realistic human dummy that her ex purchased for her. She was in the process of selling it because of how weird it actually was. However, I don't think the dummy was too fond of that idea.
This thing just moved.
Boy, all the talking head would have been screaming about the Dallas Cowboys and sticking the fork in this organization. So again, kudos to the Cowboys going on the road, getting a divisional win. Let's see how they win that moving forward. There's a saying in golf, there's no pictures on the scorecard. If you're down, you don't care if it's by 5 or it's going to be like, you're just happy that you moved to 2-2. The injury to Parsons, and we don't know anything at this point, he just left by a car without shoe off. How do you assess what that man is? The defense is struggling, but they'll get out better if he's on the field. I mean, that would be, if he's missing any significant time out of it, he's that better. He's a better player.
Oh my God. The door just moved.
33 repeals 100 affordable housing laws, including the quiet early on, much more involved, particularly the safety over the top, and you'll see right down here. Ever, a free personal Suzuki dessert, an entree plus free dessert, just $13. That's a sweet deal. They weren't able to get the field goal late. There's a lot of involved.
Are you real? You can do it again. I won't watch.
Strangely, the dummy's hand moved by its own accord, indicating the possession of the toy. The woman claimed that this wasn't a first-timer, and it had done stuff like this in the past. Very creepy. On March 24th of 2024, a Spanish native called Danny was relaxing in his living room. He had just made himself some dinner and was eating it on the sofa whilst watching TV. However, he wasn't going to be allowed to enjoy this perfect moment for very long.
Siguen los sonidos en mi casa muy extraños. ¿Qué coño? ¡Oh! ¡Para! ¡Joder, María! ¿Te vas a creer eso? Venía de la cocina. Se lo estás viendo, ¿eh? Lo estoy documentando todo. Esto va peor. Joder, tío. ¡Ay!
Strangely, the white chair slid on its own accord, and it was very clear that no strings were attached to the object. As well as this, Danny lived by himself since he broke up with his girlfriend, meaning that no one else was in the building with him that night. In response to the chair, he decided to give it to his friend Alvaro, who took it in a heartbeat because he just moved into an apartment after university. The chair hasn't acted up whilst in his apartment yet, leading Danny to believe that the spirit must have been attached to his house rather than the object. Previously on this channel, we've looked into the haunted life of Jorge Luis, a father of two who loved his family to pieces. In the particular video we're discussing today, he was in the kitchen on the phone with his wife, preparing lunch for her and the children's arrival. Suddenly though, the atmosphere grew cold and a sense of emptiness overcame him. He knew that something was wrong but didn't act upon it just in case it triggered his spirit that he had been dealing with for so long to do something. Little did Jorge know that it would act anyway.
Yeah, but it's, well, I don't know. Well, you have asked me if everything was going good. And I have told you about, it's okay, but it's just like the vibe here is not normal. I don't like it. It's like a big dark. Yeah, I don't fucking know. Like, oh, you remember that? Like the light of the bedroom? That thing was just like, yeah, for no reason I was just turning on by itself and on and off, yeah. Oh, fuck, hell no!
In an aggressive manner, the baby chair launched across the room towards Jorge, and he was taken very aback by this. He quickly sprinted out of the house and got into his car to go and pick up his family so that he didn't have to deal with the rubbish for any longer. Jorge's ghost has been with him and for years now, and it's very likely you'll hear his name on this channel again. Another person's life we've looked into on this channel is Donna Ayres, and her story is actually quite a sad one. Throughout her life, she had multiple children who all catered for her very well in adulthood, but in the year leading up to the sudden haunting of her house, both her husband and her father died. It was an extremely tough time for Donna, but she was tough and powered through it. It didn't help that one of these past relatives decided to stay by her side though.
Hey guys, just come in and I've just put the camera straight onto the chandelier because it moved. And it was just before I took the picture of the cross on the wall where I don't even know why that shadow's there. But the thought of the Lord watching over me is a good thing. But it did move, and that's why I'm just stood here now. Please, can you do it? No. What the fuck? just going to get a better view because this is amazing. I'm just going to turn the light up a bit as well. If that's you, please move it again. That is moving. Oh my god, that is moving. Oh, thank you. Wow. That is amazing. There's a couple of little kind of white specks what I'm seeing on the camera here, but that's just the light I think shining off. That's not orbs or anything, but that chandelier is moving. That's crazy. Wow, how is that possible? That is crazy. Going crazy. There's nothing even there. What the? I'm sorry if that's come through, but it just did beep for a message. Wow. And if anybody's wondering, the lines on the roof that you can see there, these two lines here, they're the reflection of the chain there. There is nothing, there's nothing there. This is all happening around me. And I just capture it as it goes. I'm not used to it now. Check it out. That is amazing. Well, if that's you, Pops, thank you. Oh. Is that you, Dad? Yeah. Oh, no, I don't like that. Oh, I don't like that. If it is you, Pops, then thank you for letting me know you're here. I don't know what the dark feeling is though that I get every time you're about, because I never got that when you were here. Wow. Wow. I'm just mesmerized. If you guys capture anything around what's going on here, please leave comments and let me know, because obviously I can't see very well. Wow. I'm absolutely mesmerized. How is this possible? Seriously, it just boggles my mind. Well, I'll tell you what, spirits are real. I know that. Oh yeah. That's you, innit, Dad? Just goes mental every time I say it. Wow. What the fuck? I don't know if you guys caught that light, but there was a big bang then. And there's no one above me or below me. Wow. Well, I'll tell you what, thank you very much for that. Thank you so much. And I don't know if that was you that was banging, but I'm going to upload now and have a listen and see what I've got with that. Oh, thank you so much. Oh, thank you.
In an unexplainable fashion, the chandelier started moving around by itself, and all of the windows were closed, so it couldn't have possibly been anything to do with the wind. On top of this, once Donna asked if it was her father doing this, the lights started going crazy, which lines up with the video we looked at in a former video. Every instance that Donna asks if the spirit is her father, it goes wild. It doesn't take a genius to connect those dots. The ghost was most definitely that of her deceased dad, and she sees this as both a positive and a negative. At first glance, the presence of him made and still makes Donna feel uncomfortable and cold. However, at least she knows that he will always be with her in her heart. In the following video, a man was walking through the streets of Spain late at night when he came across something that he would have never anticipated. He had been to the local bar with a ton of his mates, but got a call from his girlfriend saying she wanted him home early, so he had to leave by himself at around 11 p.m. The first 5 minutes were extremely relaxing and calm. No cars, no people, and no noise. However, there was something else roaming the streets.
Estoy caminando por la calle, ¿ve? Y estoy llegando a mi casa. Y ven el árbol, ven allá. ¿Lo ven? Acá. Ahí en el medio.
If we zoom in closely at the 6-second timestamp, a very faint shadow figure becomes visible for a split second. Now this was very spooky, and the man, Karim, was stumped. Unfortunately though, this was only the beginning of a horrible saga.
Hay como una figura oscura. Me llamó muchísimo la atención de la cuadra anterior que lo veía. A ver, vamos acá. Mi casa está acá a la vuelta. No hay nada. No sé.
That scream made Karim jump out of his skin, and I'm sure it made you do the same. Comment if it did or not. Karim sprinted away from the tree as fast as he could and turned many corners. His town was a dodgy one, and he didn't want to take any chances with getting caught by a gang at that time. He ran and he ran, until eventually he was lost.
Estoy sintiendo hace un rato ruido acá atrás. Y no sé qué mierda es. Oh, esto es re oscuro. Hey, hola. Hey. Concha de tu madre. ¿Qué carajo es eso? Ah, una sombra y uff, veo cosas por todos lados. Este es un cuarto, la casa de acá atrás es como un cuarto que guardamos cosas, pero estoy sintiendo como un golpeteo. Bueno, no, nada. Ey, puta madre. Todo el tiempo ruido. No.
The abandoned building he came across was full of spooky noises and had a very chilly feeling to it. It was the last place that anybody in Karim's situation would have wanted to end up at. He had already found himself there though, so there was nothing to lose. After a few minutes of hyping himself up and plucking up the courage, he went inside.
¿Se escucha el ruido? Acá está la habitación de mi hija. Puta madre. Ey. Uy, se siente re fría esta habitación. ¿Qué carajo? El ruido viene de acá adentro, me parece. Concha de tu madre, la concha de tu madre. Otra vez, ¿eh? Ruido acá, no. ¿Qué onda?
Immediately after entering the building, he found the room of a supposed child called Rebecca, and the sheer amount of shivers Kareem received upon entering was quote-unquote indescribable. Whilst in the room, he could hear the crying of a little girl, the music of a toy, and all of the items started to move by themselves. It wasn't looking too good for him. Once he heard the girl crying, though he was able to piece together the puzzle and understand that Rebecca was the one who was haunting him that night. But the question of why still remained. He stopped recording on his phone and tried to message his girlfriend to see if she could get in the car and come to pick him up. Unfortunately though, he decided to look at the top of the screen and something very harsh hit him. The abandoned house had no service whatsoever. This is when he sat down with himself and made the bravest decision of his entire life. His goal was to find out why this random little girl was tormenting him. With a mission set, he was ready. Similarly to last time, he was led back to the girl's room other than any other, which leads me to believe that she couldn't leave it after entering. The return of the laughter also hit Kareem, but none of these aspects were on the same level as what he saw when he opened the drawer, the same bear as earlier, and Kareem explained that the aura it had was off the charts, an aura of despair and evil, and just like last time, it turned the lights off and screamed. But this wasn't the end of Kareem's problems. In the next video on this channel, he will have a second appearance and things get much worse. If any of you have learned one fact from this channel, it's that basements are the most common place for our clips to happen in. They are seemingly the perfect locations for evil to brew, and nobody actually knows why. The following video took place in the basement, and is probably one of the weirdest videos we've looked at. The way in which the spirit was triggered was very unique, and I doubt we'll see anything like it ever again.
So, obviously, we've had this ghost for a while. Yeah, we've tried sage. We've tried all that. That's why we kind of made a joke out of it. But, based on all of your advice, I have taken a couple of items that I've inherited from my family's 60-year business in Mexico. And I've inherited a lot of stuff, so one by one, I've been sticking a couple of things in this box in the basement. Now, when my wife said that she whistled today, and she heard something in the basement, so... I'm not really sure if I should... Ooh. We've been stacking up these boxes for the kids to sit and play with. Oh, jeez. No. We'll go down, take a look. hell what that is tomorrow.
For some peculiar reason, the spirit in question was triggered using the sound of a whistle, which understandably baffled the family living through it. As well as this, as if one cardboard box wasn't terrifying enough for the man, the ghost decided to launch a full stack of them at him, which, while not dangerous, was still showing its true power. What made things even weirder was that the family never experienced anything paranormal again, and this was only a one-day thing. Weird on another level. Spirits are a lot more common than you think, with new paranormal sightings being uploaded to the internet every single day. It's quite terrifying, actually. However, one method that they use, which isn't so common, is possession. And in the following video, this extremely rare phenomenon was caught on camera. The duo were using something called a K2 meter, which was meant to detect the movement of ghosts in the room and make noise to be sure that the owners knew. The one in this video was going rogue, and they very quickly found out why.
We have captured one of the most scariest videos ever today. I'm still a bit shaken. This is what my dad's camera caught of my reaction. Dad? Dad? Oh my god. Dad? Dad! Yeah! And this is what my camera caught of my dad.
You're cold.
You're roasting. What are you on about?
Got a headache as well. A really bad one for me. Freezing. I'm really chilly.
I'm roasting. You alright?
Yeah, hey.
You alright? Dad? 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 Oh my god. Dad? Dad!
The head.
What are you doing? What have you done that?
Headache.
Why have you just shouted that at me?
I shouted, stop shouting, I got a headache.
Oh my god, what are you doing?
I haven't shouted.
Yes you have, you just shouted get out.
I haven't.
And your face looks so different.
Out of nowhere, the man's eyes started rolling and his face started to look very different. His daughter started beckoning him to speak, but he was just sitting there blankly, not a single word exiting his mouth. That was until he lashed out. Unsurprisingly, the sheer aggression from her father made the daughter terrified, and she didn't really know how to respond to it. At least she found out that it wasn't actually him, which is arguably a better scenario in terms of their relationship. James was a 30-year-old man who had no interest in paranormal activity until around a year before the upcoming recording. You see, he lived a normal life and was very outward about his beliefs regarding religion. He believed that science was the only answer and that a spiritual world is just nonsense. Little did he know that he was about to learn his lesson. Progressively, over the days and months, some odd things started happening in James's house until eventually he could not ignore it for any longer. He contacted a priest to visit his home and bless it, which they did. However, this did not solve anything because the following clip occurred shortly after.
Yo.
For an unknown reason, James kept hearing a rattling sound coming from the cabinet you could see, and he decided to investigate it. It was at this very moment that his gaming chair turned around without any contact from anything, and this obviously shocked him. He truly believed that getting the house blessed was an amazing idea and would save him from the evil entities, but surprisingly, this was not the case, and things only got more extreme.
Yo. Yo.
Somehow, a few more objects in this room moved, and this was enough to completely convince James that he had no chance of banishing the entity living in his house. He made his new mission to sell the house off at a good price and purchase a new one closer to his parents. We were not updated on how this mission went. In a past video on this channel, we have gone into the life of Daniel, a young adult who was going through one of the worst times of his life. He and his now ex-girlfriend Kate decided they were going to split rent on a property together to make things much easier. However, she broke up with him shortly after and went back to their parents. This really put Daniel in the mud because he had terms with the landlord that the house would be occupied for a minimum of 6 months, so he was going to be billed for that length of time. As if this was not stressful enough, he was struggling to sleep due to some strange phenomena from the closet. At random intervals, he would hear sounds and see movement from inside there, which was what he wanted whatsoever. The video I am about to show you is the most recent one from his struggles, and it gets bad.
So it just started knocking in the closet again, and actually the doll has moved since yesterday because it was in the corner, like kind of on its back looking upwards, and now it's upright, so that's kind of scary. See if it'll knock anymore. Or it'll just move the shirt in the closet. Hey, if you can hear me, just move it again. Alright. We can actually just go check it out. Because there's no one in here. It's not really, it's kind of cluttered, so yeah, yesterday it was over here.
Daniel actually managed to communicate with the spirit through moving the shirt, which was quite a smart method of getting around the spirit to human barrier. Surprisingly, the spirit complied with his questions and continued to move the shirt, which proved that there was something present that night, although that being a bad thing. In a very recent video, we witnessed a James experiment which is going to take some additional explaining for those of you who did not watch the content I am referencing. William Sloane was a normal boy who believed that his house was being haunted by a spirit he decided to name James. Every single day, things so far out of the ordinary you would not believe it were happening, and despite William telling his parents all of this, none of them believed a word. In order to counter this, he decided to start running James tests, which were experiments trying to gain evidence of the ghost's existence. This video comes from a rather peculiar test that I believe you should see. Evil spirits are more tempted to tamper with holy books, so William decided it would be smart to place a book discussing religion on his living room bookshelf. As well as this, he put a camera opposite the shelf in order to capture anything that happened to the book on tape. And he caught something all right. Take a look.
Okay. I've been going over the footage from last night, and it's pretty crazy. And I don't know what's going on, but I tell you, I've been blaming my cats since I got them for pulling my records off the shelf. And I don't know, sometimes it might be them, but it definitely wasn't last night.
First of all, the holy book was on the floor in no time, and this proved William's hypothesis at the start of this experiment. Whatever was in his house was evil. Just to put the icing on the cake, James moved an item on the table all the way across it to confirm that the book did not, in fact, magically fall to the ground. This James test proved a success, and comment if you like them, because I will be sure to include more in future. In the following video, Mackenzie was in her room building her new bed when she suddenly got the urge to look out into the neighborhood. This urge came from a dark feeling that something was up, and her heart continuously assured her that this disturbance was coming from outside. Listening to her urges, she went over to the window and checked up on the streets. It was at this point that something extremely strange caught her eye.
I'm like fucking scared. There is no one standing there, but there's a silhouette, like a shadow of a person. Yeah.
Strangely, the shadow of a human could be seen on the wall, and it was evident that nobody was standing on the street. Mackenzie was very perplexed by this, and felt the dark feelings in her body surge further. She knew for certain that this was not meant to be happening. Fortunately though, she was not the only person who got a weird feeling from this, and discovered that her entire audience felt the same way, which forced her to produce a follow-up explanation.
Hi I decided to record this video because when I saw amount of comments and videos and direct messages for the video that I have recorded like on Saturday, so I was shocked. So people who are saying that it was spray painted, no, it was not. I'm gonna show you a video. I'm gonna show what is happening now. People that are saying that I have photoshopped that, damn, it took me 4 tries for me to be able to record this video, because I didn't realize that there are stories and videos, and in videos you can select 3 minutes long video. So that's another thing. Even though I'm a white lady in her 30s, and usually in horror movies we are killed first, that day, 5 minutes after I took that video, I went downstairs to check what is causing that, because even though I was very scared, I was like, I'm too curious. Nothing could cause that. Nothing. Tomorrow when I'm gonna go to work, I'm gonna take a video so that if anyone is interested, you can check that yourself. But that, a shadow can be either a direct projection of something, or it needs to have a trail from something that is causing this to have a shadow. Oh. But yeah, it did not have that. It did not. And also the the lamppost that was very, very far ahead, it was not reaching. I could see when its shadow was finishing. And also the building that is up on the opposite street, opposite that building, that shadow, it was not causing that. I have no idea. I do believe in those kind of things a bit, but not as much. And I was so scared. I was not a little bit scared. I was scared. But then I decided to enjoy my bank holiday weekend. And people from UK, I hope you enjoyed the bank holiday. Yeah. So as you see, there is nothing. Nothing at all. Yeah. That's a lamppost on next to my neighbors. And it would project here. So yeah. Nothing.
In this explanation, she broke down the important aspects of the prior clip and debunked all of the allegations that the shadow was not that of a ghost. The main theory was that it was cast by something real and only appeared as a human figure. But after having a look at the street towards the end of the explanations, this theory was shut down immediately. Mike and Sam were two well-renowned ghost hunters around their town, and when I say renowned, I mean it. They would go on expeditions every week, desperate to find scientific evidence of the paranormal world, and in the next clip, they came very close. It took place in the woodlands next to a highway, where it was rumored that somebody passed away willingly. Their goal on this mission was to capture an interaction with the spirit of that person on camera, to prove that spirits are always watching over their point of death, and it went well in that book.
My name is Mike, this is my friend Sam. Hello. We don't mean any disrespect. We're only here to learn and communicate. This may be your last opportunity to communicate with anyone.
Right when you asked that last question, the camera just died.
Really? Was it charged?
Yeah, it was fully charged. I mean, I K2, check the K2.
Is that food over there? I haven't seen anything, bro.
Dude, something moved over there, I swear. Wait, it's moving.
Whoa! What's that?
If you paid very close attention to the ending of this clip, a pale figure could be seen gliding across the camera. This was very weird considering Mike and Sam were the only people on the expedition, and the figure looked way too transparent to be that of a human being. I guess the truth is that we will never really know though. All we do know is that this is the closest that Mike and Sam got to undeniable evidence of the paranormal world. Ghost hunting is a profession carried out by only the bravest of people, and that characteristic can definitely be said to describe Henry, the British hunter that you are about to step into the shoes of. Henry had been ghost hunting for 3 years, up until the point of this clip, and he fell in love with the hobby, becoming one of the hardest people to strike fear into on the planet. However, on the adventure that we are discussing in this video, the spirit got very close to breaking him. It took place at 1 AM in an abandoned mansion described as the place of nightmares. It was well known around the mansion's area that it was not a normal place, but nobody truly knew why, since the last family to live there did not pass away within its walls. Anyway, that is besides the main point. This mansion was haunted, and Henry was inside it. Let's take a look at some of the events that happened.
This place is fucking awful.
Now, other than the drawer opening at the beginning, you are probably wondering what on earth made this clip worthy of making the mansion a certainly haunted place. The drawer could have easily slipped open by itself, due to a problem with it, so in the eyes of most people, this was far from evidence. Well, I want you to take note of where you saw a fire extinguisher here, on the table at the back, before I play something from a lot later in the video. Ready? Here we go. If you paid enough attention, you would be able to see that the extinguisher moved to a different location in the room. This made no sense because Henry did not revisit the room in between these timestamps, so it could not have been him. A lot more happened in that mansion, but I do not have the time to include it in this video, so subscribe to not miss the future clips from this adventure. In the following video, Daza was selected for the night shift in his local corner store. The staff liked to alternate this shift because it did not feel fair for the person working on it to be paid the same as the rest, because it was obviously a much more demanding time to come into work. At the time of this recording, Daza was finishing off rearranging the shelves and was then going to lock up the store for the night to prevent any robberies from taking place. This was probably the most annoying job in the store because of how many things needed shutting off before the store became closed, but regardless, he needed to do it anyways. It was during this job role that something absolutely jaw-dropping occurred though, and he was fortunate to have noticed it happen because of how quickly it happened.
Yo queriendo grabar mi rutina y pasa esto.
Now I doubt even you managed to understand what happened in this clip, but do not worry because I will explain it to you. At the timestamp of 37 seconds, a figure could be seen walking past the shelves, and Daza obviously went to check that he had not gotten a final customer to make his life even harder. To his delight, there was no customer on the other side. To his dismay rather, this meant that whatever passed by must have been a spirit. Since that day, he has always felt an odd feeling in the store, but his manager says he is probably experiencing the placebo effect. Regardless of what he was experiencing though, it was 100% that he at least encountered the spirit once. 2 days after that incident, the same employee was on a night shift when something equally as suspicious as the last time occurred. It is important to note that he was mopping the entire floor, so it was impossible that what he found was present beforehand. Take a look.
Pensé que era puro pedo que anda una niña.
Acabo de trapear. No me la van a creer, pero guachen. Guachen. Si son cuerdas para distinguirlas, si son unas patitas. Ay, güey, no seas mamón, verga.
Shockingly, the floor was covered in footprints, except not ones that you would be likely to see. They were white and flat, as if they weren't real, and Daza explained that even after feeling the prints, they just felt like the floor did normally. This was made even more mysterious when Daza came back to work the next evening to find that they were absent despite him leaving them there so he could show his boss. If that does not scream spirit to you, then I have no idea what does. The following video was captured using the CCTV at a daycare and caught a very strange event unfolding. Usually when ghosts decide to haunt someone, they will move things and make noises to torment their victims. But they never become physical or break anything of value, at least not for most people. In the spine-tingling content you're about to see, a group of children were in the playroom being monitored by the security guard when they zoomed into something surprisingly weird. Take a look.
John, how is it doing that? John, how is it doing that? But wait, John, it's about to break on its own. It's gonna break on its own.
You have to watch it until it breaks. There has to be no strike
Watch, John. Are you watching this thing? Yeah. It's not moving. No. Oh, in there. No, watch. Oh. Watch, John. Watch.
Man, it hurts so bad.
Nobody listens to me. There's ghosts in here. Nobody listens to me.
Watch
It's about to go crazy and break.
it.
It's still moving! It's still moving, y'all! It's still moving! It's still moving!
If it floats in the air and goes for the child, I'm gonna freak out.
And then it just moves. It's so good. It just came out. It just went
My hand's shaking. I can't.
How's this funny? It's not like this or like this. It's not like
Poor Brooke, get in the path of the demon.
She's like, maybe I should put my feet on the table.
I feel like I need to go away from this screen.
Oh my gosh.
What in the world?
When you record this stuff out loud, dude, this is we need to make it. Don't worry, get a bit. We should send to the scary 100 people.
Nobody listens to me. There's ghosts in this building, and nobody listens to me. I don't know if it's demons. I don't know if it's ghosts, but there's something in this building.
Because I'm telling you, like we've seen, like 8 years, stuff just disappeared.
Somehow, the queue started moving by itself and eventually smacked the table, which broke it into 2 pieces. For some reason, the children were not fazed by this, but the adults most definitely were. If you can come up with any logical reason for this happening, then let me know in the comments, but I'm certain it was the act of a spirit. Hamza was a young freelancer who was paid to go on ghost hunting missions, specifically ones who wanted them erased rather than detected. He had spent 13 years researching spirits and was a strong believer that he knew how to deal with them effectively. This is why so many people chose to pay him to do so. However, some spirits are much different than others, and perhaps Hamza had no experience with the type he was about to encounter because he handled it very poorly.
Uy, no mames, ¿qué fue eso?
¿Hay alguien?
¿Qué fue eso, amigos? ¿Qué fue eso? ¿Qué fue eso? ¿Qué fue eso? Oye, alguien corre, alguien corre, alguien corre. Alguien está corriendo.
¿Hay alguien aquí?
Miren, aquí hay puertas, como que alguien quitó la puerta.
¿Hay alguien aquí?
Uy, 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 se acaba de mover esto, amigos.
In case you didn't know, one of the worst ways a human can react to a ghost moving something is with fear, because all that does is empower the creature even more. Spirits, especially demons, feed off the fear of their victims, and Hamza fed it exactly what it wanted, hence why the next event happened.
Amigos, se acaba de mover esto. Y esto se movió.
¿En dónde estás? ¿Dónde estás? Queremos verte.
Se acaba de mover esto. Uy, 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 uy. Uy, uy, uy. Uy, uy. Ahí está caminando, amigos. Ahí está caminando, ahí está caminando. Ahí está caminando.
¿Hay alguien?
Uy, me caigo.
¿Hay alguien aquí? Si estás aquí, quiero que te manifiestes.
Uy, ¿qué fue eso? ¿Qué es eso?
Again, he made his inner fear very apparent here, and no wonder the mission came out as a failure, and he didn't make any money from it. It was a very odd experience for Hamza, because he never got afraid of paranormal activity, but he kept reminding himself that maybe this creature was demonic, and that was a step too far. Some of the videos that you see on this channel can come off as so unbelievable that even I can't convince you otherwise. In the next clip, this may be the case at the start, but one segment changes everything. It was filmed on January 12th of 2017 and featured a bouncy ball in the decoration of a basketball. It's safe to say that something was wrong with it, and you are about to find out what.
Ahora también se hizo basquetbolista, ¿viste? Ahora también se hizo basquetbolista. Creo que biencito se ve. Anda esa que está moviendo. Anda esa que está moviendo, tío. No se sabe quién es. Mira, mira. Qué lo parió, ¿eh?
At first, the video seemed like a normal one. Balls are spherical, so of course they were going to roll around if placed onto a black tabletop. However, the way in which they did so was very unnatural. First of all, it constantly stopped and restarted, which shouldn't be possible. When the ball came to a complete standstill, a force must have been applied to make it move in a given direction again. On top of this, it started spinning in circles, which again shouldn't have been possible without the interference of another force. Was that force a spirit? Most definitely yes. This doctor had just finished prescribing one of his patients when he managed to secure an extra 30-minute break for being way ahead of schedule. He decided that instead of utilizing his break to the maximum though, he would use it to help some of the other doctors around the clinic by taking items to them and general help along those lines. No wonder he was awarded Employee of the Month so frequently. On this specific day though, I bet he regretted his kind actions because despite being a star for his peers, he put himself at the risk of a paranormal attack.
No veo nada. Miren. Miren. ¿Cómo ver eso? Se acaba de caer un roco. Se está moviendo este.
Weirdly, a ton of items started collapsing around him, and his transportation tray moved by its own accord. This freaked the poor doctor out, and he quickly went to report the situation to the office, who reassured him they would look into it as he was such a valuable member of staff. We got no extra updates after this point. The Paranormal Team is a global group who investigate paranormal activity around the world. The group you're about to spectate on their journey was located in the United Kingdom and were posting content different from usual. The typical post on their YouTube channel would be the exploration of a famous haunted place, such as abandoned buildings and hospitals. However, in the one you are about to see, it was filmed in one of their friends' homes. Dave and Jen were a couple who were convinced that they had been experiencing paranormal activity over the past few months, and they were fortunate to have been friends with the Northern Paranormal Team of the UK. On the other hand though, they were unfortunate with what the team discovered.
Hi gang, we're at Jed and Dave's house doing another investigation because things I've been seeing here last year when we was up here. And it was quite creepy, so we're just going to do another investigation now, a little one. See what we can find.
We're using the night vision camera on the SLS, so that's why they're stood behind me, because we don't want to keep mapping them.
Exactly.
We want to see what we can map ourselves.
Just have a look around the room, Dave, you never know. We caught some orbs in there last time I was up here.
Yeah, I'm hoping to see some orbs now.
Yeah. You never know.
We're back.
It's stuck on two of the K2 meter.
K2, what was that?
Yeah, I've got Jed behind us doing the K2 and he's got a couple of lights on it, you know, so we don't know.
Yeah. Yeah, well, all we can do is just keep
let's
going
have a
past
look around.
and see. Whoa!
What the hell? Did I just see something or am I imagining it?
I don't know, let's go.
What the hell? I don't know. It was, to me it looked like a face, Dave.
I thought I saw something.
That was really quick,
That was
really
that.
spooky.
That was.
I don't know, it seemed like a face, but I could be wrong, I won't say for definite.
What a face?
Yeah.
It seemed like one, yeah.
I don't talk bollocks. You see the face?
I don't know, we'll have to look back on the video.
We'll have to review it, but that was really weird.
I thought I saw something.
Peer around the door.
Peering, yeah, peering on the door.
Well, this is stuck on two.
I know we've got a towel here.
Yeah, this is stuck on two. The door.
But we've got a towel. Could it be that?
Well, no, because it never moved. It come out from that like a peekaboo, and then went.
I wasn't looking. I just saw it at the corner of my eye. And I went back and I didn't see anything.
You're scared because something scared you because you look back. You thought you'd seen something.
Let's go check the kitchen.
Oh my God, what a house! Anyway.
To the kitchen. Yeah, house. I've got a fucking sleep here tonight, mate.
Wow. God bless you.
Well, the good thing is he's not picking up any like stick thingies, so we can use the actual, night vision. That's weird. We're gonna have to look back on that. I'm gonna have to look back on that.
Definitely have to review that footage. That was insane.
Quick check. Yeah, we know it's a towel.
Towel can't move.
Yeah, we were in here. We were doing a quick zoom around. Check. Yeah, it's when I went past the door there. Oh, I know you. But yeah, I'm out.
This is stuck on two, this. It's switching to 3 now.
I'm wondering if it's a towel. It has to be the towel.
The towel can't move when it's on unless we
We're going to have to look back. We're going to have to look back, guys.
Right, well,
we're going to have to look back.
Come back later.
Right, so we'll come back later. I'll go back on the footage now. So I'm going to end the recording now. All right. Cheers.
If you look closely at the timestamp of 51 seconds, the face of a ghost could be seen peeking round the door, and this was solid evidence that the house was haunted. At first, the group weren't certain that this was the case, and blamed all sorts of factors, including the carpet. Regardless, once they reviewed the footage, they knew exactly what the deal was. Jen and Dave were far from safe. They moved out of their house the next month. In the following video, the man on the bottom is doing some simple Omegle trolling, like all people on the platform do. He got paired with 2 men from the same country as him, which was a relief due to how many English speakers used the platform. Little did they know that this pairing would document one of the weirdest captures ever on the website. In the beginning, the man at the bottom was telling the duo their names and address, and he somehow got both the answers right, which surprised the duo. It was what that happened moments later in the video that terrified everyone present in that Omegle call.
Hola. Hola.
Hola muchachos, ¿cómo andan? Para, yo a ustedes los conozco.
Pues a Argentina no hemos ido, ¿eh? Así que no...
Sí, yo los conozco. ¿Vos no te llamas Javi? ¿Y vos sos Juan o no? ¿Son de España o no?
Mi nombre lo pone ahí, que es mi cuarto, pero...
¿Son de España o no? ¿De Madrid?
Sí.
Sí, yo que ustedes no lo
Pero podrás estar la IP.
crean.
¿Tienes nuestra IP? ¿Eres de esos que buscan la IP y esas cosas? ¿Qué hace? Por este pavo, bro.
Chicos, ¿les puedo hacer una consulta? ¿Ustedes qué estaban haciendo en su casa?
Pues nada. Esperar, que ahora vamos a salir de fiesta. Estoy solo en casa y le he invitado.
¿Solo?
Sí, solo. ¿El gato? Bueno, con él. ¿El gato que está abajo?
No
¿Qué le
puede
pasa?
ser, chicos. Yo vi que esa puerta que está enfrente se movió.
¿Cuál esta? ¿La de Javi?
Sí. Yo vi... No. Yo vi que la puerta que está enfrente suyo se movió.
Esa de ahí, nada.
Les juro que vi que esa puerta se movió.
No, mira. Nos está vacilando, o sea.
No, chicos, no. Yo lo vi con mis propios ojos. Yo vi que esa puerta de manera lenta se abrió y luego se cerró bruscamente, chicos.
Nos intenta meter miedo, ¿eh?
No les estoy mintiendo ni por mucho menos, por favor. Yo les juro que por mis ojos y por lo que más tengo en mi vida que esa puerta se movió.
Imposible, no hay nada. Así que, y mi gato está abajo, es imposible que se mueva nada. Nos está vacilando. Literalmente es el típico... Se ha quedado pillado. ¿Qué le pasa?
Atrás suyo hay alguien.
¿Cómo que atrás? ¡Me cago en la puta!
The strangest part of this entire sequence was that despite being stared at by the men, the spirit still stood there strongly, leading me to believe it was on the demonic side of ghosts. Looking the ghost face to face in the eyes sparked so much fear into the duo that they immediately skipped, hoping that the entire thing was some crazy plot from the dude in the headphones. It wasn't. Due to no updates or no information on them, we have no idea what happened in the next chapter of this story. Spirits are known for their unique abilities to go undetected in homes, and the one you're about to see almost mastered that ability. It invaded the home of university student James's aunt, who fortunately had a nanny cam set up in her bedroom. She did this as she was getting fairly old and wanted a way for people to check up on her, but it wouldn't be her that the family ended up concerned about. On a random Tuesday, James decided to check the camera to see how she was doing, but was greeted with a much less familiar face. Take a look.
I don't know if I'm seeing shit or tripping, but check this out. So this is my aunt's son's room, right? There's no one in here. Right? Nothing. Closet. Nothing. Got a nanny camera in here. Alright, now tell me, right on the monitor here, tell me that doesn't look like someone standing in the room. Like I've checked, like went back and forth 3 times, and So, okay, nothing, right? Like, what the fuck? I do not want to go back in there. You have an idea? Put this, like, right here. And put this right here. Alright. Okay, I saw a ball in the other room. I'm gonna go grab it. Okay. Make sure it's clear. Alright, let's see how this goes. Okay, alright. Fuck, there is definitely something in there. What the fuck?
If that whole story wasn't enough to freak you out, I have no idea what would do the trick. The fact that even while standing in the doorway he couldn't see the ghost, but the camera still detected it at the exact same time, must have been a very spooky situation to be in, and he advised that his auntie took up his room and he'd sleep on the couch. They locked the door, and the ghost still stands there to this day, waiting for its day to be released once again. Geometry Dash is a huge game, and many YouTube videos related to it are uploaded every single day. One of the YouTubers in the Geodash scene is called Fanksy, and he comes from Italy, offering the content to the Italian speakers who enjoy the game, a very smart way to tap into a competitive market. His subscribers wait for new videos every week, covering all aspects of the game, but on a random day in July, they got something far from that. They received a paranormal documentation. To set the scene, Fanksy had been experiencing paranormal activity for a few weeks prior to the video, and decided the best option was to keep it private. He believed that even if he did upload some of it to his huge platform of fans, he would be called a faker and tarnish his reputation, something no YouTuber would want to do. Fortunately though, this did not happen.
Bene! ma direi che possiamo passare al prossimo livello di Damor, Fengsi 3. Proviamo ragazzi, sono curioso di vedere quello che accadrà. Dobbiamo scaricare la canzone. Ok ragazzi, fermi un secondo. Ho sentito un rumore fortissimo, ma io sono a casa da solo. Spero sia il vento, ma non credo, visto che io chiudo sempre tutto, perché altrimenti ci sarebbero casini mentre registro. No, non è possibile. Ragazzi, no, adesso vi devo far vedere. No, vi giuro, raga, non è possibile. Allora, ragazzi, sono andato a controllare cosa potesse essere il rumore. Stiamo un attimo calmi. C'è la luce del bagno accesa. Vi giuro, io sono a casa da solo, non so se lo potete vedere. Stavo registrando, ho sentito il rumore della porta chiudersi e c'è la luce accesa. Raga, non sto scherzando. Allora, entro. Raga, sto tremando, vi giuro. Allora, come potete vedere, non c'è assolutamente nessuno.
Somehow the bathroom door opened and slammed itself closed mid-recording, and Finksy spent a good 1 minute emphasizing that he was the only one in the house. As well as this, he always asked Alexa to turn all the lights off when he was recording, and for some reason the bathroom one was on. Was this a technical error or something much, much worse? After investigating, he came to the conclusion that the cause of the door closing was the wind, and the reason for the light being on was an issue with his Alexa device. Both of these theories were false, but he didn't know that and decided to continue his recording.
Ok ragazzi, rieccoci. Non so cosa sia successo, all'improvviso la porta del bagno si è chiusa. Ragazzi, no vabbè, giuro adesso mi sto cagando in mano, però veramente. Raga, sto tremando, sta succedendo qualcosa di strano e non sto scherzando. Ragazzi, la porta l'avevo chiusa. Raga, si poteva vedere prima che ho chiuso la porta quando sono entrato. No raga, vi giuro. Che cavolo sta succedendo? Cioè, ha sbattuto a caso. Ma poi con quale violenza? No ragazzi, dai, ma non scherziamo. Ragazzi, c'è la luce accesa di qua. Ragazzi, era spenta prima, l'avete potuto vedere. Sono passato da qua ed era tutto spento.
Strangely, just moments after hitting the continue button on his Streamlabs, the door to his bedroom slammed in an aggressive manner, and this frightened him into screaming. What made things even worse was that it opened itself again afterwards, which should be completely impossible. Possibilities that can only be denied by the paranormal entities of the world. After seeing this, Finksy knew that the spirit had made a return on camera and decided to set up some CCTV in the corner of the room. This way he would feel safe as he slept, and sleep he did. He stopped the recording as he was too shaken to act and called it a night. On September 10th of 2022, Celsa, a 26-year-old mother of two, decided to send her oldest daughter to get some cleaning supplies. She had drawn all over her bedroom door, and Celsa was far from impressed with her, so it was only right that the daughter went and got the items necessary. However, after finding out what happened once she went down there, I bet Celsa would have done it herself in a heartbeat.
Mom! Where is it? Okay. Oh, it's right here. Oh my god. Oh my god. Mom! The door is open again! Oh my god!
Strangely, the drawer opened itself right in front of the camera, which took the young girl by surprise. She quickly turned back on herself and ran to her mother, who comforted her straight away. They had experienced many things over the past week, so they started to notice that it was becoming a common pattern. The family didn't like to publicize too much though, so decided to leave the story there. We can only pray that they are now doing well. These two cafe workers were the last in the building and were designated the task to close. Closing took a while there because there were several things that needed to be turned off and a lot of seating that needed bringing inside, so the crew took it in turns every day. The night before, Stephen, the manager of the store, claimed that he saw a shadow in the corridor and that he was too frightened to close that night, despite it being his turn. He offered the duo in the video an extra $50 if they took the task, and expectedly, they did. I doubt they would have if they knew what happened on the next page of their story, though.
Okay, guys. Oh, I fucking didn't start. We're gonna mess with the ghost tonight. I just wanted to update my TikTok and Instagram people. So I just started TikTok again. We're gonna do some, like, I don't know, I don't want to call it summoning, but we're gonna see what we can do tonight and mess with some ghosties. Yeah! Some ghosties. Manifesting, we're gonna have an experience. Okay. Strong. Yeah. So this has been going on for the last 15 minutes. We were talking to the spirit, and I guess we gave it too much energy, and now things are getting worse. She thinks I'm somehow messing with her, but we are so behind on closing. Like, we have to still clean so much stuff. No. And they just won't stop. Like, the spirits won't give us a break right now. Oh, never mind. Okay, let's go. Yeah, I'm literally out of breath. I'm so nervous right now. Okay, so this is what we deal with here at Swirls. It's currently 11:18 and we're still not home. And okay, there was a sound right there, and I guarantee I just saw a shadow. I hope I caught that. See? I don't get it. Is there a reason that you're doing this right now?
Dude, the light switch is here. Like,
okay.
Right?
Yeah, this is our main panel.
Okay, it stopped.
Okay, chill. Okay, so this is what I... No way. Bro, like, I just caught that literally right in front of me. I literally just caught that in front of me. No one is here. Okay, come to the front now. Come on. Yeah, you... Okay. See, this is what I don't like. I hear footsteps from the attic right now. I'm literally still hearing it.
I literally just saw a shadow.
A shadow where?
By the wall.
What's going on? Okay, now music's on. I don't understand this. I really don't. Oh my god. 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 Okay, we need to get the lights on. Please come with me. Please come with me. Please go to the switch. Go to the main panel. Just go to the main panel. Okay, turn them on. Turn them on. Turn them on.
Items all around them in the storage room started to fall, and it got to the point where it was genuinely dangerous. As they were running out, the woman screamed, and we didn't actually get to see why. However, we were told in a later piece of content. Apparently a mirror launched off the wall directly at her, but she was able to duck in time, making things even weirder, though it didn't smash, despite such a high drop. It defied physics, and nobody knows how to this day. Moving to a new house can be both exciting and stressful. The excitement comes from the anticipation of a new life elsewhere, but the nerves can often conquer that feeling. How safe will the area be? Will my kid make friends? What if the house isn't as nice as we thought? They are just 3 stressful thoughts that fill the minds of new house purchasers. In the upcoming video though, it was none of these factors that put them off. It was something much worse. The child was aged 3 years old and was well past the age of stumbling while doing something as simple as launching leaves. As well as this, the motion of which he collapsed was very unnatural and wouldn't have happened because of anything else other than a shove. This video was the one that drew the line for the mother, and she decided that the family would be moving houses just 7 months after moving in. And you can't really blame her for that decision, and the husband didn't either. They followed through with her decision and moved from the rural house to a more urban one, where they felt safer with people all around them. The busy roads and streets made sure that they always had humans nearby who could help if something went wrong. God forbid that they actually needed it. They settled into the new house much faster than the old one and felt truly at home, but little did they know that their old friend got into the car with them. Unlike last time, the spirit didn't try to harm the child, but seemingly tapped him, or something along those lines. The kid quickly turned round in response to the sudden contact, but there was no one other than his mother, who was 5 feet away. This was the last known footage of what we will call the shover incident, but if anything else comes up, I'll make sure to include it in a future video. Subscribe so you don't risk missing it. In the following video, a plumber by the name of Corbin Finn was hired to investigate an old urgent care building for leakages. The company who owned the building closed down before the Texas freeze for an unpublicized reason, but that was the least of Corbin's concerns. He was being paid by another company, a restaurant chain to be specific, to come and fix any leaks that were causing the facility to flood. They were very interested in opening a franchise in that location, so wanted it in top-notch condition as quickly as they possibly could. They clearly needed to find a ghost hunter first, though, because what Corbin came across was completely unexplainable for someone who knew nothing about spirits.
Alright, I'm working in an old urgent care that just got shut down. It got shut down before the freeze here in Texas. I'm not sure why it closed down, but it's pretty spooky. I'm supposed to be looking for a leak in here. This bathroom, creepy hallway. Real spooky place. Another bathroom. This is a second two-story building. This used to be the elevator shaft right here. I guess we're taking the stairs. I guess meditation class used to be upstairs. Had to put your shoes in this little cubby. After some further investigation, there's no one else in this building. I fucking heard someone go down those stairs, though. So, I guess this was the meditation room. There's a lot of natural lighting in here. Probably don't need the flashlight right now. Here's the top of the elevator shaft. You can't fucking see anything down there. So, here's the meditation room. Kind of looks like the fucking back rooms. It looks very culty. There's a stage up here. It looks like a couple of altars next to them. Creepy. Okay, now I'm getting the fuck out of here. That was it.
It doesn't take high-level ears to detect the noises that Corbin heard whilst he was in the building, specifically the one in the meditation room. After this spooky experience, he ran out of the site and called the restaurant manager to tell them he wouldn't go in again until they had a ghost hunter scan the place. Since ghost hunters cost a lot of money though, the chain rejected the proposal and decided to find a better plumber, which they did. The franchise is currently in the same location and running strongly with no paranormal captures. Dogs, along with cats, are known for several things that humans all love. They are cute, they are cuddly, and they are the perfect domestic animals. But they also have one more feature, which is considered to be highly subjective. They can see, or at least sense, a paranormal presence. Everyone knows that these creatures have much better senses than humans, so it does make sense that they can spot light patterns that we can't. That is the reason why so many people truly believe that they can see these spirits. Regardless of what you believe or not though, this video is very disturbing and really freaked out the woman behind the camera. She claimed that she had never felt so uncomfortable in a room with her beloved dog, and she hoped to never feel that way near him again. Take a look.
Bruh. What do you see? Oh my god. What? Girl? You're gonna get me scared.
The dog became very stiff, which is a sign of discomfort and stress. It was also looking down on something, presumably trying to maintain the higher ground. A very strange sequence of actions for a dog to take when there was seemingly no threat in the room. Let me know what you gather from this clip in the comments, but my beliefs won't change. There was definitely a poltergeist in the bedroom. This man was innocently showing off his new fish to the internet when an uninvited guest decided to take a first-hand look. The man, Thomas, had purchased 4 fish and put them all into a tank to try and educate his children on how to look after things. He gave them both jobs to do with maintaining the pets and hoped they would do them well to keep the sea creatures alive. But they didn't even go 10 minutes without a big problem happening. Take a look.
Alright guys, got some new fish. Pretty big tank as well. There's currently 2 black ones, 2 gold ones. I've called them Goldie number 2, a black one, and if you guys have any suggestions for names that... What the f... What the f...
Now at first, it was very hard to visualize what went wrong in this video, but since you're watching Haunter, it will slow down for you. There were fingers on the other end of the tank, and once Thomas acknowledged them, they slipped back behind the door. Instinctively, he decided to go and search the house to find out who it was, but to his dismay, no one barring him was home. Later that day, just 20 minutes before the wife and kids were scheduled to come back home, Thomas was watching television when this spirit decided to make a second appearance of the night. It may have been less severe, but it further made him freaked out by his own home. Have a watch.
Alright guys, so I just thought I'd record a video. I'm home alone. I've been hearing like occasional like banging noises every few days. It's quite late at night, it's like about 1 AM now. I heard a couple of sort of banging. Sometimes it sounds like footsteps, like in the last 10 minutes. Sorry, my camera, by the way, keeps defocusing. I'm not sure why, but yeah, I just thought I'd record to just try and like catch any. Fucking hell, man.
The loud echo of footsteps started ringing around the house, and Thomas was left absolutely stumped as to what caused it. He beckoned his audience to let him know in the comments, and I do the same to you. Make sure to comment what you think caused it, and like whilst you're down there, so more people can see Thomas's story. Clayton was in his home minding his own business when some strange noises forced him to step out of his way to solve things. It was roughly 2 PM in the afternoon when this happened, and Clayton explained after the incident that when the incident happened, a feeling of chills traveled through him like an electric shock. This is common for spiritual encounters, so take a look.
I don't know what's going on, but I'm hearing noise in there in the kitchen. Sound like I heard cabinet or something. I don't know what it is. Opening up or something. If there's a spirit here, let me know. Oh, shit!
Somehow, an array of items started to move on the kitchen counter, and it was very clear that no visible presence was toying with them. This, paired with the fact that Clayton suddenly felt cold, confirmed that a spirit had been in the house that day. Fortunately, Clayton has not encountered anything since leading him to believe this was a one-time experience, but if something does happen, he will inform us, and I'll put it on the channel. The following video took place in a little girl's bedroom, and her parents had recently set up a security camera in there. You see, they were convinced that something was not right about their house, so in order to try and decipher what was wrong, they deployed CCTV all around the building. For a good few weeks, this method did nothing for them, and they were seriously considering moving due to experiencing an unsolvable problem. However, just as they were driving around searching for local houses that they could invest in, the father of the house received a notification from their daughter's room. In fear, he checked, and this is what he found. Through the lens of the camera, he could see that some unexplainable stuff was happening, and this allowed him to piece 2 and 2 together. The house felt weird because there was a haunting happening. With this information, he and his wife discussed how to move forward, and they unanimously decided to stay put. They contacted the local church for help with banishing the spirit, but did not want to run away with the fear that it would just come back again. Now, on this channel, we have seen several spirits, but one of the less common ones that we come across are mimics. These emotionally tormenting ghosts copy and paste another human's voice to lure their victims to a location where their life will become hell. So, on a side note, you should always be careful what voices you trust. But would you trust your own voice? You see, there is a very slim chance that a mimic will copy and paste your voice against you in order to cause stress and confusion, and this is what the person in the upcoming clip was forced to experience. This was a very interesting clip, so I highly advise that you have a watch.
I was watching Reels when I heard the knocking when I asked, "Who are you?" Then, in reply, I heard my own voice.
Hey, go on. Mama? Run, Joe.
Weirdly, the spirit continued to retort back to Abdullah, using his voice, and this frightened him for obvious reasons. Hearing someone else's voice from something that is not them would be scary enough, but hearing your own is on a whole other world of terrifying. Eventually, the craziness came to a halt, and Abdullah was finally able to get some rest. Regardless of this good night's sleep though, the mimic would not go so easy on him next time, and he needed some preparation to cope with it. Not that he received any.
I was about to sleep and then this happened again. It was around 2 a.m. in the morning.
Ruhan?
That is my voice. If you don't know what is going on, so see my previous videos. They mimic my voice always, but they don't comment.
ما في الأرض من ذا الذي يشفعون له بإذنه يعلمون ما بين أيديهم وما خلفهم بشيء من علمه لما شاء وسيع كرسيه السماوات والأرض ولا يؤوده حفظهما وهو العلي العظيم.
This time around, the spirit was much more aggressive and emitted banging noises onto the door as if it was physically trying to break in. In reality, its only goal was to strike fear into Abdullah, and it is safe to say that in this moment it was experiencing success. Once the spirit finished its second night of tormenting Abdullah, he decided that enough was enough and made a strong vow to himself. He vowed that if the mimic came to his door one more time, then he would open it to truly confirm that it was not someone else playing tricks. He hoped that it was his brother or someone along those lines so that he knew he was safe, but he did not get what he wanted whatsoever.
So this happened again.
मुझे पता है बात वही से अब मत करना.
To his dismay, nobody was standing on the other side, and he was forced into a wave of acceptance. He knew that what he was experiencing was a haunting, but what he did not know was the second steps. In case he watches this video, make sure to comment some ideas for him. Ever since the recent surge in technological advancements, security cameras have become the norm, and almost every single firm has a bunch of them set up within their premises. The business that we are about to look into was no different, except the footage that their cameras caught was far from what you would expect. Most CCTV systems end up capturing nothing special, as it is rarer than you would think for a theft to happen in a store. However, on the odd occasion, these systems will catch criminals red-handed and serve a real purpose. The cameras in this video didn't match any of those descriptions and made the security team jump when checking them. The time was roughly 3 a.m. and the staff were drinking coffee, having a chat and staring at the camera monitors. It was at this moment that the craziest experience of both their lives happened. All the items in the room started to go bizarre. as if a monkey had been let loose in a room full of bananas. Everything in the corridor was caught dropping and sliding, and the guards were not brave enough to go and face whatever the cause was. Not that any of us would be. The mystery of what caused such an odd event remains unsolved, despite many internet theorists giving it their best attempt. Feel free to have some thoughts for yourself, but there is no logical answer that you can come up with. Abdul was not the type for adventures. He would spend most of his days working his 9 to 5 before coming home and getting some rest. But for once, this routine was about to change. It was 12 past midnight, and Abdul had followed the usual drill. Come home, eat dinner, and get some rest. You can't really go wrong with a plan like that. He had gotten to sleep pretty quickly compared to usual, and was in a deep slumber by 11 p.m. Little did he know that his slumber would be stopped just an hour later, and he was forced to investigate the banging noises that woke him up.
Assalamu alaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Nimesh sub nishta kor ki awaaz yuma aw baar dir dagi ki tasu awre khawaz. Ya Allah khair, ya Allah khair. Nimesh warahmatullahi tasu kore word bi do bachi di tasu kore. Ya Allah khair. قل أعوذ برب الناس ملك الناس إله الناس من شر الوسواس الخناس الذي يوسوس في صدور الناس من الجنة والناس. يا الله خير يا الله خير. سوكي لك سوكي يا الله خير. بسم الله الله أكبر بسم الله الله أكبر لا إله إلا الله محمد رسول الله. سوكي لك وګوره مرګوري سوکم نشته. یا الله خیر یا الله خیر علي يا الله خیر يا الله خیر.
As if the repetitive banging was not spooky enough, a figure in the same of a grim reaper blocked the camera for the ending part of the clip. The strange thing is that Abdul did not see this outline in real life, and only noticed its presence after glancing at his phone screen. Immediately after noticing that it was there, Abdul sprinted away from the scene, but it was not enough to make him quit completely. This was his property after all, and he knew that he needed to show the poltergeist that this was the case. So he did. He strolled around the garden like a boss, and eventually came across the room of which he did not enter much. For some reason, he felt the urge to open the door and see its contents another time, so he did, only to be ambushed by instant regret.
Garo abal oras periano bedi jura ki samal jod kade ho. Nanrala manan lapa khair kade di. Auzu billahi minash shaitanir rajim. Bismillahir rahmanir rahim. La ilaha illallah Muhammadur Rasulullah. Margaro pakite ugore. La ilaha illallah Muhammadur Rasulullah. La ilaha illallah. تاسو زمونږ دا کور ولې نه پرېږدئ ځکه نه دی ځای یا الله خیر یا الله خیر لا إله إلا الله.
After opening the door, he was swarmed by objects moving alone, and he had no idea how to react to such a shock. Instinctively, his body forced him into flight mode, and he fled into his house for good. This time, he was too frightened to continue searching and just wanted the warmth of his own home. However, he was too far gone. He wasn't even allowed to enjoy this privilege.
Assalamu alaikum, margaro mahami team ne mahami. O de jumesh pada ha. د جمعې شپه د په کمره کې را لسم الله غستې تاسو ګورئ ښه یا الله خیر یا الله خیر استغفر الله الله اکبر قل اعوذ برب الناس ملك الناس اله الناس من شر الوسواس الخناس الذي يوسوس في صدور الناس من الجنة والناس. یا الله خیر 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 مرګرو ګورئ ښه تاسو ته ګورئ بسم الله دا ګورئ کمرې راله غونډه راورانه کړې تاسو ګورئ ښه الله خیر یا الله خیر یا الله خیر استغفر الله الله اکبر الله اکبر یا الله خیر
Just like outside, his house was riddled with paranormal activity, and this was a first-time experience for Abdul. He was a very religious man, so believed that Allah would protect him if he prayed that night, so he did. Only time will tell if it worked. On May 29th of 2018, a man was chilling in his house when he started to hear noises coming from the basement. Now at first, he believed that the noises were coming from a squatter, a person living in his house without any permission. But still unsure, the man decided to investigate, and what he found was beyond terrifying.
Doing this cabinet crown, and I think there's a squatter in this house. I think it's in here. Hello? 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 Anybody here?
Strangely, when the man reached the basement, no one could be seen. As well as this, the lights started flickering on their own accord while the switch was still in view with no one there. It was at this moment that the man realized he wasn't housing a squatter, but a spirit instead. He decided to continue searching though, as he wasn't completely convinced, but his mindset was about to change.
Hello?
The heck is that?
Hello? Who is it?
Somehow the door managed to open without anyone behind it, but this was only the beginning. When the man went to inspect the door, nobody was there, and to make things even worse, the basement door slammed shut. When the man opened it, the light started flickering again, and this time he dropped his phone in fear. The ghost seemed to enjoy the device though, as it spun around on the floor without anything pushing it. The man in the house moved out a week later and has witnessed no paranormal activity since.